Something very interesting happened last 3 days or last week. And that goes to show Trump is not the fool that he appears to be to the world. He's a very smart person, working together with his business acumen and also his tenacity, like lion which or a hyena which will never leave its prey. He is, his thinking is somewhere different, which people are unable to fathom. But my understanding is different. I think that somewhere he is playing a game so that he can keep America afloat in spite of its $38 trillion deficit and its interest payments every year ballooning to more than $3 billion. Now, somewhere there's something going on. Some people are unable to put their finger on it, and I'm not able to fathom what he's looking at. Let us understand now. Now, yesterday, I think last week, he announced a deal with Reliance Industries Limited that he is going to set up a $300 billion refinery in somewhere in Tennessee or somewhere. And the person who's going to set up the industry is Reliance Industries Limited of India. Now, how does it look like? It looks as if it's a clean business deal between America and Reliance Industries. You mean there are no other persons who are competent to set up that kind of refinery? Now, let us understand there. You see, there are people who are setting up refineries. But here, he is trying to cajole Modi to come to his side because he is now giving a business opportunity to India. But the $300 billion are not going to come to India. There might be some fees or something like that which he can bring in. That is, maybe Reliance can bring in as a service charges or contract charges or anything like that. So there's one angle. The second angle, let us look at it. Everybody has been criticizing the crude of Venezuela. Venezuela crude is very thick, it's very viscous, it's got too much of, it's heavy crude, and it's too much of sulfur, and hence it cannot be refined. Yes, that is the point. The US has been used to the sweet crude of the Middle East, mainly from Basra, Iraq, Saudi, and all those places. But suddenly it found a market where he controls 300 billion barrels of oil. 300 billion barrels of oil. So multiply it by at least $70 per barrel. You can imagine, what are you looking at? What is the figure you are looking at? Something fantastic. The figure is something fantastic, beyond the realms of thinking. What happens? Reliance at Jamnagar, the Reliance Industries refinery at Jamnagar, and one more refinery in India, I think is run by HPCL, which refines this heavy crude. Jamnagar and this refinery in India are the only two refineries currently in Asia, I think, or I do not know with the world, but in Asia, which can refine the worst crude, and especially such heavy crude as it comes from Venezuela. So what happens now? He's killed two birds with one stone. He is going to set up a $300 billion refinery in Tennessee, one of the poorest states of the US. He is going to give employment to the southern states, and it is going to build up, a society, cities, everything around that billion-dollar industry. And now here, he is going to set up a refinery with the help of Reliance. And what will be that refinery? It will be the type which Reliance runs in Jamnagar. That means it can process both light crude and sweet crude, and it can process this heavy crude of Venezuela. So what happens? He's got control. Trump has got control of 300 billion barrels of oil. He is safe. The United States is safe. It's got enough oil of its own. And now with this $300 billion where the 300 billion barrels of oil thrown in, you can imagine the safety of the US. What is it? Another, suppose they set it up, Reliance Industries is known for its setting up of units very, very fast. I think that was also set up in 24 or 28 months, if I'm not wrong. So within a period of 2 to 3 years, you're going to have a fantastic refinery there, where US is going to process the, well, he stole it, I would say, because he overthrew Maduro, captured Maduro, put up his puppet in Venezuela. All that, okay, all that is different. That is political, that is geopolitical. But the economics part of it, let us view it very, very clearly. Clearly, obviously, now the USA is safe and secure, and it will be having its safety in its petrol fuel industry. That means the fuel prices are not going to blow up as we expected or everybody expected, and there will be a cooling of the prices because of the reason that the transportation cost is going to come down. In a few years, you're going to see that even they'll go back to the petroleum gasoline cars which they had, the Impala, the Chevrolets, and all those fantastic cars which Ford and GM were famous for. Maybe it is make America great again. That simple factor of Trump has created some thinking in my mind. There's something beyond which he's looking at, not setting up this $300 billion. I don't know whether it's a plan by him or it's a plan by different people who have worked with economic strategists, who have worked together. Yes, we'll first get Maduro out, put a puppet in. We had 300 billion barrels of oil free of cost. Well, I don't mean free of cost, it's going to be free, but it's going to be easier for them to access at prices which Trump dictates. And he's going to set up a refinery in the terms of what they want with regard to refinery prepared by Reliance, which can capture this crude and produce enough fuel. See, he's got two birds and he's got enough fuel, enough, I don't know whether its perception is so wonderful, thinking, 3-5 years ahead. Something wonderful. I don't know whether I'm right, but my thinking is that this is going to be the play of Trump. He is going to make the US safe. He is going to make the US safe with regard to the requirement of oil, so that even if he is isolated in the world market, he doesn't suffer. Well, now you may not have the petrodollar. It's okay with me. There'll not be petrodollar. There might be some shakeups. There might be something, the dollar may come down, etc. But on the whole, the US benefits. So I think it's a wonderful idea, and he's trying to now, I would say, not even 2 birds, 3 birds. He's trying to get Modi also into his fold by giving him this kind of a small thing of a small cheese, and say, hey, look here, I'm giving an opportunity for your industries. I will open out the market for Indian industries. You be with me. Well, we do not know whether Modi is going to fall into that trap. I do not think that Modi is such a fool or a person who will think on the smaller lines when he's worked to put this country on its rails after it was shattered for a very long time. So, looking at one aspect, I would say that Trump is not the fool that he looks like, and this violent action he's taking, it has to be accepted, and he is going to succeed in this. See, that is the second aspect is the war in Iraq. Iran. Iraq is correct. I like to correct, in Iran. Now, what is going to happen in Iran, nobody knows. Everybody is talking about that Trump is going to lose, Trump is going to lose, Trump is going to lose. Iran been working for the past 20 years. He's got enough missiles, he's going to attack this, he's going to do this and all that. But I do not know whether even that is going to be it's a different game plan. Because the whole of the Arabic nations know that Iran has been helping, just like Iraq and Libya, funding all these terrorist organizations. So I think there's some other game which it's playing, and I do not know how far it will work, but I talk about it in the next video.